Hi, everyone. This is your co-host, Marx, joined as always with...
co-host Julie.
And this is not GenreTainment. Because of your support, we are trying out a new companion show to GenreTainment called GenreTalk.
Yes, on GenreTalk, rather than interviewing writers, game designers, directors, producers, and actors, we are, well, just pretty much talking. We're going to review different movies and TV shows, maybe some other things too. It will usually just be us two, but we might occasionally have a guest host. We'll see.
Yeah, and whether this is like once a month or every other week or more like kind of up to... It's kind of up to you all, really. So if you like this, let us know in the comments. Like it, follow, subscribe, whatever you're seeing this. And if you want to be like super duper cool, get bonus points from us, you can join our Patreon over on patreon.com/Cabot Crossing. For those of you who don't listen to us or watch us on YouTube, you might not know that Cabot Crossing is our publishing company where we publish novels and anthologies and such. And we're now also producing GenreTainment, Genre Play, and lots more stuff for like under or part of Cabot Crossing Publishing.
Right. Now, speaking of Patreon, we want to give a special shout out to our very first paying patron, Michelle and Neil. Now, Michelle's been a super supportive of GenreTainment for a long time, so we are thrilled to have her on as a patron. And because we know she loves GenreTainment, we thought she just might like this companion show too.
Yes, thanks so much for your support, and we hope you enjoy this new show.
We probably should get to talking about our topic for today, though.
Oh, I suppose. Sure. Today we're talking about a little old movie from this small little studio called Walt Disney. I don't know. You might have heard of him.
I think I've heard of him.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. And they do this movie, this little shared universe thing. They call it like, Marvel Cinematic Universe. They even call it like MCU. It's real cute, right? Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about Deadpool Wolverine today.
Yes. So let's get to talking. First, we're going to try to be spoiler-free in our review. Then we get to the spoilers. And at the end, we give our rating. So if you don't want to be spoiled, we will cue you when to skip to the end, and we'll try to put times in the show notes to help with that. Now, the official synopsis for the movie is Deadpool is offered a place in the Marvel Cinematic Universe by the Time Variance Authority, but instead recruits a variant of Wolverine to save his universe from extinction.
Yeah, every time a new movie comes out, there's this talk about superhero fatigue, right?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing it for this movie, though. So far, as of the time of this recording, which is the weekend of August 25th, the movie's made, according to Box Office Mojo, but my sources here, which is unique and on the internet, I know. So domestic, over 577 million so far has been made, and international over 634 million. So right now it's the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, beating out the Joker. Yep. And so it's safe to say it's doing okay. But is it a good movie? What do you think, Julie?
Well, I think it's a good movie. I'm not sure if I think it's the greatest R-rated film of all time, but it really was a good film. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, a lot of action, kind of things you expect from MCU, right? Oh, with a lot more, cursing and gore and stuff. So yeah. So
don't bring your kids to this one.
You shouldn't bring young kids to it, which we did see some young kids, but whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, that's bad parenting 101.
Whatever. Just don't be surprised, later. No, anyway. But anyway.
Don't be surprised when they pick up bad habits.
They start talking like Deadpool, it's on you. But I think adding Hugh Jackman as Wolverine kind of added a new layer that wasn't in the two previous movies of Deadpool. And it was sort of this really cool...
It worked as a bromance.
Oh, yeah. It definitely worked as a bromance. There was some decent, chemistry, if I remember, in Deadpool 2 with Deadpool and Cable, but this was, a whole another level. And it was also like a really great curtain call or transition from Fox's Marvel movies to the MCU. It was more than I expected. I didn't even think about that going in. And by the end of it, it was like, it was cool. So
yeah. And
no spoilers, though.
Yeah. Shoot, I was getting ready to say something, and I just realized I think
just hold on to it. Hold it close. Be ready.
Okay.
I think Ryan Reynolds spot on. Ryan
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. That's the alternate universe version.
That's the variant version of him. He was terrible, but Ryan Reynolds was quite good.
Yes.
No, I thought Ryan Reynolds was spot on again as Deadpool. His personality, in a way, his sense of humor, is definitely all over Deadpool in the movie.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine again. I thought add a little heart to it.
Yes.
And he was just great as Wolverine. He was like he'd never been gone almost. I'm sure he sweated hard to get those abs.
He's not getting any younger.
Nope, nope. And I think they did a better job, not spoiling anything yet. We'll get there in a minute, but I think they did a better job handling the multiverse than Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness did, I feel.
I feel like they did a good job handling the time variant better than the Loki TV show too.
Yeah, I was going to mention it was great, and I mentioned this in the synopsis, right? Or you mentioned the synopsis. So the TVA, which was in Loki, does appear in this movie, is prominent in this movie, and I thought it was great that they made that connection. I hope this means they'll start doing a better job blending the Disney Plus shows with the movies, because sometimes I feel like they're a little bit disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, any other spoiler-free thoughts before we get into spoilers?
I don't think so. I'm having a hard time thinking of something spoiler free.
I know it's tough. It's tough. I'm trying to not give too much away. So let's give up. Let's let loose and let's start spoiling.
Okay, spoilers from here on out. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, go ahead and skip to the end for the rating. So here we go.
You want to start first or me?
I was just going to say, you were saying that what was it, they were bought by from Fox, or how did that work exactly?
Yeah, so for the longest time, if you don't know like the history, like Marvel Comics, they were pretty bad off. They were going bankrupt, so they sold off a lot of the movie rights.
Hard to imagine now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. They sold off a lot of the movie rights to different studios, including Fox, and they sold. What do they sell? They sell all the X-Men stuff. They sold, I believe, Daredevil, Fantastic Four stuff. Probably forgetting something, but those for sure. And it took a while for them to get it back. Obviously, they got Daredevil back at some point because they were able to make the Disney Plus Daredevil show, which is coming back soon. We'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, it was a great Netflix series.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And MCU's got Fantastic Four coming up, but they also have all the mutants and stuff, and they got Deadpool. And I'm sure when they got Deadpool, they're like, "Can we do anything with this show?" Because it's so R-rated. And I have to say, they didn't hold back, though. That's for sure.
No, I gotta give him props for embracing the nature of Deadpool.
Yeah, because if you water down Deadpool, I don't know, it's
Who wants to watch a watered down Deadpool?
yeah, it's a little tough. It's like having a Deadpool. The Merc with the Mouth is his nickname. That doesn't have a mouth and can't talk. Oh
Yeah.
wait, they did that.
Wait, they did that. That was terrible. The Merc with no mouth just was
Yeah, I
not the
know.
same.
I don't know if they made a shout out to that or not. I'm surprised they didn't.
I think they
Unless I
did.
missed. Did they?
For some reason, I seem to recall them saying something, but I could be wrong.
I mean, there was so much in that movie that.
Maybe that was just you saying something in the movie. I don't know.
Well, and there are tons of cameos and references and stuff to a bunch of
Yes.
movies. I mean, we got tons of different variations of Deadpool. We got tons of variations of Wolverine, and
I love the short Wolverine.
yeah, that's the comic accurate height of Wolverine. Technically, I think that's actually shorter than he
That's
really
got to
is.
be an exaggeration.
Yeah, it's like Wolverine Hobbit or something. It's a little too
Yeah.
short. But it's funny that they did that because Wolverine in the comics is a shorter, stouter, kind of guy. He's like, I can't remember. He's 5 foot.
Built like a Wolverine.
Yeah, like Wolverine. I can't remember how much over 5 foot he is, but he's a shorter guy.
Well, Wolverine's not a huge animal, but you sure wouldn't want to mess with one.
Nope. But yeah, we got tons of different Wolverines that you would, if you're a big comic book fan, you would recognize a bunch of them from different timelines or alternate stories.
Yeah, and they referenced in the movie being bought back from Fox and in a hilarious way about getting the rights back. Remember that with the big there's like the big signs or something? 20th
Oh,
first century
oh
Fox.
yeah, it was like it was in that limbo place that the TVA
Yeah.
sends everything to. Yeah, and I was there. Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
that was pretty
in a
funny.
more touching way, less jokey. At the after credits, they have a bunch of scenes from the making of the different, movies and TV shows and stuff, and kind of like a love letter to that. So, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
I'd forgotten about that.
there's tons of stuff here. I mean, like some of them, like I love Now, this is definitely spoilery, but I love Johnny Storm, like Chris Evans being in there, and you think he's Captain America, how they introduce him, but then you find out he's Johnny Storm.
Yes.
Hilarious. Such a great way to surprise us with that.
Yeah, that was a twist.
Yeah. I loved how they handled his character. He said some stuff he normally would not be saying in Fantastic Four movie. But I also liked, we got Pyro back from the Marvel movies. We had a new version, or a new actor at least, playing Sabretooth. We had a few characters that were nods to, like Toad and some other people from the other movies that were played by different people. I'm sure they couldn't afford or handle the scheduling for all those people. But they're definitely callbacks to the different universe. And of course, these are all variants that may not be from the universe we know, right?
Right. And they had, was it Elektra and
Yeah, I love
uh,
that team they put together, right? That was, I thought, a great touch. We had Jennifer Garner Electra, Wesley Snipes Blade, and we had, which, uh, people forget, but Blade really started this whole Marvel kick. It was the first really successful Marvel movie. It wasn't seen as superhero, right? It was seen as
right.
supernatural or urban fantasy, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, he's from Marvel Comics, and he really helped as a big stepping stone to for the Marvel superhero movies, at least.
Yeah.
So great to see him back, and Jennifer Garner's great in everything she does, and
She was great. And didn't she get a dig in on Ben Affleck, I think?
that's how people read it, yeah,
Yeah. That
because they're
was
like,
a
oh,
very,
your Daredevil's dead. I'm sorry, no big deal, kind of.
oh, he wasn't that great.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And we had, who else do we have in that group? Of course, Johnny Storm was in that group. Was supposed to be in that group. Oh yes, of course. We had Gambit. We had more comic book accurate Gambit, right?
Yes, I liked him a lot.
Yeah. So Channing Tatum,
Channing Tatum.
he was supposed to play Gambit in a Gambit movie that got scrapped.
Oh,
So
that's
that
a shame.
yeah, so it's a great callback to that, right? It's something that almost could have happened, and they mentioned there's some little.
How long ago was that?
Oh, I think it was after. See, Gambit appeared in one of the movies. I feel like it was one of the Wolverine movies, and I think they were talking about after that. It was a
Hmm.
different actor though, but they're talking about having him play him. I think.
I was gonna say if they could get Channing Tatum, I mean that would be a big box office draw.
Yeah, you think, but it's none of the X-Men have had solo movies except for Wolverine. I'm sure they think it's a risk, but I think that's what I love about the X-Men movies. I really feel like if MCU does it right, they have enough material in the X-Men universe to make a whole nother MCU worth of movies, because there's
Yeah,
so many characters and rich history to develop from.
there really is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of characters that could get solo movies and stuff too if they want to.
Mhm.
Not just Wolverine. Although we love Wolverine's great, but still, there's a lot of great characters.
Hugh Jackman just really made that role.
Yes, he did an amazing job. Although we did get Henry Cavill as Wolverine, so which I think they call him in the credits Cavalrine or something like that.
When was that? I don't remember that.
He was one of the Wolverines they went up to. He had the big old cigar in his mouth and turned
Oh,
sideways
that's
and looked at him.
right. Yeah,
Mhm.
because it was a shock because you were expecting to see Hugh Jackman,
Yeah, yeah, that
and
that
yeah.
was hilarious. And my gosh, the dude's hitting the weights hard. Oh,
I need to
they
get to the gym.
I know, right? I was like, I gotta go to the gym tonight. Definitely a very large version of Wolverine.
Yeah.
We had a lot of variations of Wolverine. We had a lot of variations of Deadpool. We had
Oh my gosh, how many variations of Deadpool? Hundreds.
a lot. What
And
was your
it was really
favorite?
cool. The baby, and it was actually Ryan Reynolds' kid, wasn't it? That was the
Hmm.
baby Wolverine, and then his wife was the female Wolverine.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, Lady Pool was his wife, and he had his
And Baby Pool was his kid.
and Kid Pool was his kid too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely Ryan Reynolds' fingerprints is all over this movie, right? He's really super involved in it.
I
He
think
had a
my
lot.
second favorite Deadpool was the one with the dog, the real like hippie, free
Oh
love kind of one.
yeah, what was it? Kind Pool, nice pool, maybe.
I don't remember. We gotta do these recordings right after we watch the movie.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a few weeks since we watched it, but yeah, I thought that was a good Wolverine, or excuse me, Deadpool. Also, they were just great. Seeing all these different Deadpools running around, the big battle at the end with all of them, it was great. So, and there's a lot of them are references to comic book versions. So I don't know about all of them, but there's a good chunk of them in there. There are. So yeah, I think the story. Okay, the villain. Let's talk about Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corrin. What did you
Yeah, she
think
was
of her?
really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That hand through the head thing was really gross,
Yeah,
disturbing.
and she does that in the comic books. I don't know this villain as well because I don't read the comic books as much as I used to when I was younger, superhero comics at least. But I am familiar with her character, and
See,
as
I
a
wasn't.
X-Men.
I went into it having no knowledge of her whatsoever.
Yeah, and you don't have to know anything about her, but I don't know, the actress had a really strong presence as the character, and
Mhm.
I hope they'll bring back that villain or a version of Cassandra Nova again someday, because I thought there's a lot of potential there with her. I think at the end it got a little bit like, oh, we're going to destroy the universe, blah, blah. It got a little bit like the traditional end of almost every MCU, and she kind of
Yeah.
blended in just like a normal supervillain. But up to that point, not that there's anything wrong with it, but up to that point, she was a very unique and interesting, villain, and it has a great power set. So of telepathy and telekinesis. So, any other thoughts that you want to talk about with Deadpool and Wolverine?
No. I liked how they did the ending where it didn't kill them because it would have killed one, but because there was two of them, it didn't kill them, and I liked kind of seeing them do teamwork after all the bumps in the road earlier in the movie with trying to work together.
Mm-hmm.
It was heartwarming seeing them willing to sacrifice their lives.
Yeah, and I think the dog is called Dogpool. I don't know if you said that, but
Dogpool. That's cute. I love that dog.
yeah, isn't that the dog that's like the ugliest dog on the
He,
internet or whatever? Peggy the
it
dog is
it
really.
won one of the, I don't know what year it won ugliest dog of the year, but I heard that it was one of those that had won ugliest dog. Like its tongue won't roll back in its mouth, and it really is so ugly. It's cute.
I also heard, and I just looked it up to double check, that Cowboy Pool, the voice was Matthew McConaughey. So,
Oh.
and apparently there's a Nathan Fillion voice too called Headpool. I'm not sure. I totally missed that. I'll have to go back
Oh, I
and
didn't catch
watch
that.
if I can trust IMDb on that. But
Yeah, that's
I heard about Matthew McConaughey before and was like, oh man, missed it.
yeah, I missed that. They should have had him go, "All right, all right, all right." Then we'd have known.
We would have known then. Yes. Yeah. I just, oh, yes, of course. Another one is X-23. It was nice seeing that character again and that actress who we just saw on Acolyte. She did a good job on that too. Hopefully, we'll see more X-23. So
What are you talking about?
the female Wolverine ish person she's from Logan movie, and then she came back. She was part of the
Oh,
group.
that's right.
Here's the
Yeah.
rest of the group members with Elektra and Blade and Gambit and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. She was good.
Hmm. But yeah, I think this movie was really, I think it was a great way to transition, or at least begin the transition of the Fox characters to the MCU. I'm still very curious how they're going to get mutants into the MCU, like fully with the X-Men and stuff. If they're going to like start from the beginning, or they've always been around and now we just find out about them, or if there's going to be some weird multiverse thing happening. I don't know. But we have Secret Wars coming up, a few movies down, all sorts of possibilities.
Yeah. I'd say this was as smooth a transition as you can get.
Yeah, it was tons of callbacks and good nods to what it came before. Yeah, I think it was good. It was, if you watched the X-Men movies and stuff, you would love a lot of the callbacks. You don't have to still enjoy it, but it
No,
would definitely be
uh-uh.
great. I think it just overall was a pretty good story. It was fun. If you liked the first two Deadpool movies, I think you'll definitely like this one.
Yeah,
But
I mean, if you like Deadpool, this is certainly a great one. I mean, if you're not into Deadpool, you won't like this movie.
no, I
But
think that's safe to say. If you didn't like Deadpool, you're not gonna like this movie.
but
Uh,
if you at all liked the first or second Deadpool, then you're gonna really love this one.
yeah, and if you like Hugh Jackman Wolverine, you might enjoy this. If you like both of those things, you're
Yes.
gonna love it.
Then you're gonna absolutely love it. Yeah.
So I think it was a good movie, a good, fun, action-packed MCU movie. It wasn't
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the deepest story in the world, but it was still good. And it still had emotional moments here and there. So,
Yeah, it did.
and again, I think that's the Wolverine helps. It's hard to really take Deadpool
I think if
100%.
it had just been Deadpool again, kind of by himself, I don't think I would have liked it as well. Because as much as I like Deadpool, I can only take so much of him, you
Yeah.
know?
He can be a lot,
He's a
and
lot.
and he could be, selfish sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think Hugh Jackman Wolverine helps ground him a little bit and gave some more heart to it all.
Yeah,
I think that's I
and
think that's part of Deadpool. In Deadpool, the other two movies, he also had a lot of other characters around him, which you had
yes.
a lot of those in the beginning, right? And I think that's what always helps ground him. If you had like a Deadpool all by himself, that's it. I think that could get old. But the
Yeah.
dynamic, the chemistry with him and his interaction with other people is what works.
Yeah, but Deadpool trying to blend in and be like a normal person was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was in the beginning. That was pretty funny. Yeah, he was trying to join the Avengers and the main universe.
Yeah, he wanted to and he talked to wasn't it Happy?
Hmm.
Yeah, he really wanted to join the Avengers. And I guess they think he's too crazy.
Well, kind of is a little bit, but no, he. I heard that they talked about him wanting to talk to Tony Stark, and Iron Man, and that was taking place. That was before. It seemed like it was before Endgame and stuff.
Mm,
Um, and originally they were thinking about having him appear in the movie, but they backed off of that after they decided that he was going to be returning as Doctor Doom and stuff, which has been announced a few months ago.
yeah.
So
So that's not really a spoiler, so
it's not a spoiler. It didn't happen. So well, it doesn't matter. We're doing spoilers.
That's right.
Spoilers all the time. But yeah, I think it was good. And so how do we break it down? How many Deadpool Wolverine variants out of a max score of 10 do we score this?
I don't know, what would you score it as?
I don't want to compare it to other kinds of movies except for other superhero movies, right? And I do that, and if I'm looking at MCU movies and DC movies too, I don't feel like it's on the level of a few movies where it's a truly great blend of like it makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you do all that stuff, makes you feel all the feels. It didn't quite do that, but it's still pretty darn good. So I would say maybe, gosh, I don't know, 8.5 to 9. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna guess about an 8 out of
Yeah,
10 for me.
I'd probably say 8.5 or so. So
8.5. Okay.
yeah, 8.5, 8 and 1 comic book accurate sized Wolverine variant.
Mm. Yes, there you go.
But it's a good movie. It's definitely one of the best MCU movies that have come out recently, and one of the best superhero movies that's come out for a while. Not something for little kids necessarily.
No.
I mean, I guess it depends on how you feel about it,
Please
but
don't take your children to this movie. It's just not right, and it's
well,
very
just
uncomfortable for
don't
the
get
other
mad at
people.
them if they start saying very creative curse words. Just a Johnny Storm rant by himself
Yeah,
would be
or
enough to be
or
like,
making
whoa.
obscene gestures.
I think this movie tells you right now, don't take little kids to a Marvel movie by default until you look at the rating. Because if we have more R-rated Marvel movies like this, you might want to be a little bit more careful about what your little kids have seen at least.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a great movie, and I'm kudos to Walt Disney for not, trying to, whatever you want to call it, Disney-fy Deadpool. They definitely didn't do that. That's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like they let Ryan Reynolds do a lot of his Ryan Reynolds stuff. So
Mhm.
lots of great action, tons of great action scenes, tons of good scenes with Wolverine and
Yes, and
Deadpool.
I have to say that a lot of times, you know me, whenever we watch a movie and it has a lot of action sequences in it, like a lot of fight scenes, and they go on a long time, I tend to fall asleep during fight scenes
Hmm.
because sometimes they can just go on so long and be so dull. I never felt like dozing off once watching any fight scenes or action sequences in this movie at all, which is really amazing. I
Yep.
get in a dark theater and it's just this constant hum of repetitive music and then just repetitive punch, 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 punch over and over and over again that kind of lulls me to sleep.
Especially potentially in superhero ones where they can take like a gazillion hits, right? They can get
Yeah,
carried
it
away.
gets so silly after a while.
Yeah, they get pretty repetitive. Fight scenes or stories too, just like dialogue scenes or whatever scenes. So
Yeah, there needs to be some story in the fight to keep people interested, and I thought they did a good job in this one.
yep, yep, good job. Hope I don't know what they're gonna do with Deadpool after this or this alternate Wolverine, but I'm excited to see. I don't know, maybe it'll be Secret Wars. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
That's our score. That's our first genre talk.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Now, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Tell us your favorite parts of the movie or what you hope to see in the future for the MCU. Now, next episode, we'll be talking about Twisters. And after that, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, Trap. So, I don't know, what other movies, TV shows, or other things would you like us to talk about? Just let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you found us with this episode, you can also hear us interview creators over on GenreTainment, or listen or watch us play different tabletop role-playing games and discuss them too over on Genre Play. You can find all those at cabotcrossing.com or on the YouTube channel at Cabot Crossing. I'll put some links in the show notes for
Yeah,
you.
and that's CABBIT crossing.
Yeah, Cabot like a rabbit.
Cat
And
and a rabbit combined.
yep, basically rabbit with a C. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a wrap for today's episode.
Until
Until
next
next
time.
time.
Bad monkey.